What is up, everyone? Welcome back. Something major is unfolding right in front of our very eyes in the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit, and it could be one of the most pivotal developments that we have seen to date. And I got you covered. A joint motion was filed in court. And this isn't just a routine legal back and forth. We're talking about a $125 million penalty, a proposed resolution, and what looks like a serious move towards finally closing this chapter. If you're paying attention to the signal, this one speaks volumes. But before we get into the full breakdown, make sure you subscribe to the channel. This is the new channel, the one you're listening to right now. This is the one you're watching. Let's try to push it over 2,000 subs today. It's only about another 70. I know we can do it. And with your support, we can absolutely make that happen. Tap that button, join the movement. Now, let's roll that beautiful intro. All right, welcome back. Let's kill the camera and let's jump into this thing. Bitcoin coming in at $104,701. It's currently down 2.44%. Ethereum coming in at 2,525. It's currently down over 7.93%. And XRP, it's taking a beating as well, currently down 4.5%, coming in at $2.13. Do not freak out. Everything is okay. We got the war. Well, looks like it's going to be a war if we don't already classify as war between Israel and Iran. That is never good for the markets. We need that to come to an end and everyone just to walk away. War is never the answer. It's that simple, right? But we are in great shape. Bitcoin still above 100K. XRP still holding above its support zones around $1.90 to $2. Everything's all right. This is just a small dip, a small correction. We're going to jump into the XRP chart in just 1 second here. But again, your reminder, please subscribe to the channel. This is what it looks like. The Bullwinkle Blueprint. That's me. That's Rip, the new channel. Here's the XRP chart. As you can see, we're okay. This is all right here. 220 to 236 has been a really just a pain in the butt. Let's call it what it is. We're having a hard time breaking through it. When the bulls are showing momentum, we are still unable to get through. We told you this range that we are in, this $2 to $3 range, is going to take some work to get through. Yes, we will get there. It's not happening this month, and I don't think it's going to happen to the end of the summer. The good thing, though, the positives to take away, this massive green zone, which is sitting from $1.90 to about 205. That is support. I do not see the support getting broken. Can it get retested? 100%. We had a wick down to it yesterday that came in around 208. We are back up to 213. But what's going on in the world out there, and if something crazy happens, or something even crazier happens, could we get even lower? Yes, we can. But it's no time to panic. Because what I see when I zoom out on the XRP chart, what I see here is just massive amounts of consolidation. Yeah, we had a couple of spikes up where we tried to break out and make a new all-time high, and we failed to do so. But if we really look at this thing, a majority of the time, we've been consolidating and we've been coiling up in this $2 to $3 range. And when it is broken, this thing is going to absolutely explode to the upside. Now, if we get rid of our support and resistance and we look at our market oracles here, and we just extend it, lower the time frames a little bit, you can see XRP did drop bearish yesterday. It is trying to get back up bullish. It needs to get about 222 to become bullish again. And if we do dip down, these green waves is where you see your reversals usually take place. Starts around $1.81 if we get into there. I don't see it happening, but support at the top is sitting around 271 to 320, or resistance, I should say. It's just going to take more time, everyone. That's it. Then we get this. The Coinbase CEO, Brian Armstrong, says that Bitcoin could become the world's, let's start that again. Bitcoin could be the reserve currency of the world. Listen up.
money has multiple purposes, right? It's a medium of exchange, which stablecoins is solving beautifully. It's also intended to be a store of value. And right now, democracies around the world are really struggling to get their deficit spending under control. And I think that Bitcoin actually, I guess my crazy, little bit out there idea is that I think Bitcoin is going to provide an important check and balance on deficit spending. And if it gets out of control too much, people will flee to it in times of uncertainty. And it could actually end up that Bitcoin is the new reserve currency of the world.
Bitcoin is the new reserve currency. You heard it here first. Thank you, guys.
All right, so let's just call it what it is, right? We're watching the slow motion collapse of trust in fiat. The question isn't if a new global reserve is needed, it's what is it going to be? And Bitcoin, it's making a case, it's making a stab at it. Why not throw your hat into the ring? You never know. I mean, Bitcoin fixes the core flaw of fiat trust. Every reserve currency in history has failed due to centralization and abuse. Bitcoin flips the script. It's mathematically capped, it's decentralized, and verifiable by anyone in real time. It doesn't require trust, it requires math. Interesting, right? Let's see what happens. You know what I mean? Do I think Bitcoin's going to be the world's reserve currency? I do not. Let's jump into this Ripple versus SEC lawsuit because we got a lot going on and a lot to unpack. It states here the SEC officially withdraws multiple regulatory proposals, including the expanded custody rule, Rule 3B16, for DeFi exchanges and enhanced ESG reporting requirements from the Gensler era. So, what is this? You're probably like, Rip, we don't know what this means. I got you. Rule 3B16 for DeFi has been withdrawn. What this was that the SEC wanted to expand the definitions of exchange, I'm putting that in air quotes, to include DeFi platforms, essentially putting all those protocols under full SEC compliance. Imagine forcing open source code and decentralized smart contracts to register as Wall Street exchanges. Come on, that's absurd. The rollback acknowledges that DeFi is fundamentally different and needs tailored rules, not one size fits all. A big sigh of relief for these protocols, builders, and liquidity providers across DeFi. This signals a more collaborative future approach. Now, this is aimed at increasing environmental, social, and government disclosures, especially for public companies and funds. While ESG goals sounds noble, this rule created an enormous compliance burdens and introduced the politicians getting into their financial disclosures. Its removal gave businesses space to focus on performance, not virtual signaling. So this is a big step right here. They're rolling back everything that Gensler did, as they should. And then we talk about Ripple versus the SEC. We had a new document, a joint request that was filed here. So the joint motion, this signals cooperation between Ripple and the SEC. So both parties have come together for this filing. They aren't fighting anymore. They aren't confronting each other. They aren't saying, you're right, I'm wrong. They're not pointing fingers. They have come together. When a multi-year case like this shifts from adversarial to resolution mode, the market reads this as clarity. Regulatory clarity equals capital confidence. Confidence equals inflows. Inflows equals price lift. Investors sitting on the sidelines due to legal risk, they now psychologically, they have the green light. The what if is now being replaced by what's next. This is big. So this joint request was filed by both Ripple and the SEC to dissolve the injunction and release that $125 million civil penalty currently locked in escrow. Now that's huge because if you don't file a joint motion, unless you're on the same page, Ripple and the SEC finally on the same page. They're essentially saying, hey, let's end this cleanly. Let's stop the appeals and let's stop dragging this out. They proposed a split. 50 million goes to the SEC. This other 75 million goes back to Ripple. And the deeper signal here that a lot of people are missing, both sides are finally ready to move on. After all these years, they are both finally ready to move on. This is more than just a settlement over money. It is a move to end the legal war that's held XRP back for over 3 freaking years. And from a legal strategy perspective, this kind of joint motion, well, guess what? It suggests that there's alignment behind the scenes, which is huge. Ripple's penalty is finalized and contained, and the threat of further litigation is fading fast. And this takes everything off the judge. If she's like, look, both of you guys have agreed to this, you drafted it up. You just need me to sign it. She doesn't need to make any decisions here. They are telling her, look, they're like, Taurus, here it is. Just sign it off. Let's get this over with. We wrote this up. We both agree to it. So we are finally watching the final pieces of the puzzle slide right into place. And if this is approved, it clears the runway for Ripple to go full offensive on business, partnerships, and maybe they can start that future IPO discussions. I know a lot of you wait for that. It's not just Ripple getting clarity here. It's the entire XRP ledger ecosystem. And just imagine what kind of market signal that sends. No appeals, no uncertainty, just closure. I'm going to leave it like that, folks. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe to the channel. I will catch everyone on the next one.